working full-time and being a mother is hard anyway. I upskilled. It's the earning opportunity. I was saying to give myself grace, but I don't think I really was giving myself grace. So, hello, my name is Laifa and welcome to La La Land. I recently took the jump and transitioned into a new career, and I kind of have these video diaries or video entries to document my thoughts, the process, and how it's been. So a few months ago, I did a video about learning on the job as a mother, and when I watched it back recently, I was just really disturbed at how hard on myself I was, and even the videos to follow, it's filled with so much uncertainty about what I'm doing and the steps that I'm taking. It does go to say, yes, when you are learning on the job and you are a mother, generally working full-time and being a mother is hard anyway. And obviously with different age ranges of your children, that would determine the struggle that you go through. My children are now at school age, which is why I was able to make this decision in the first place, because I knew that there would be a lot of learning. Now in that video, I will link it maybe in the description box or wherever they link things nowadays on YouTube. I discussed my thought process about, is the job hard or am I just slow, or things like that. And with hindsight, and I knew it then, but I was just filled with so much doubt, which is problematic. I was saying to give myself grace, but I don't think I really was giving myself grace. If we look at the transition that I've made, I'm going to give you an analogy, an example, right? So it's like I did a, say, 6-week boot camp as to how to become a doctor, right? So I did a 6 weeks boot camp. I'm going to become a doctor. I'm going to do this boot camp to become a doctor. Meanwhile, there are people who have studied medicine for years and years and years. They've done placements, all that kind of stuff. So I've done this 6 weeks boot camp. Then the following 6 weeks, I got a job in medicine, right? Now I'm being asked to perform brain surgery. Of course, I can't perform brain surgery. There's lots of gaps in my knowledge. I might know something, but do I understand it properly? Do I understand it enough that I won't cause harm to others? Do I understand it enough that I won't break something or someone? No, I don't. And I'm comparing myself to the doctors. Now, I'm not in medicine, just to say, but this is just to explain to you. I'm comparing myself to doctors with years and years of experience, or people that have, they've gone to school, they've studied medicine, they have a good grasp of things, at least a better grasp than me. And I'm expecting myself to have it just like that. And I think when you have that young experience, there's so much grace given to you because you are a youth, and you give yourself that grace. You're like, oh, I'm only 21. I've got time to get this. But I felt like, and even to now, I feel like I have a lot of catching up to do, because not only did I career switch, I actually upskilled, which is a little bit different to career switching. Because imagine, okay, you're in a career where you're earning a significant amount of money and you want to pivot, which means that your tax bracket may reduce before you get back to where you were. No, that's not what I did. I upskilled. It's the earning opportunity that I'm looking at, as well as being in an area that I really enjoy. So when I was making the transition and making a decision as to what sector, what field I want to go into, I'm also looking at earning potential, right? How long will it take? How soon will it take? And outside of doing the reading, and Google is really our best friend, on social media you see, or at least I was seeing, a lot of people make it look like it's easier than what it is. Now, all that being said, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And I don't just want to talk about, that is just a small part of what I'm trying to achieve to better myself. Just going a little bit back and looking at how I came to this decision and to where I am now. A few years ago, I lost my mum. That just broke me, of course, like it would anybody. A couple of years after that, I lost my grandfather. Again, extremely painful. So that was my mum and my maternal grandfather. So that's my mum's dad. And it really exposed me. Even financially, it had an impact. Not, of course, like the cost of funerals and burials and stuff like that, but generally my lifestyle, having that network, those people to support me with childcare and going forward with certain decisions and actions. So that happening made me really have to sit down with myself and how I was going to better myself and protect myself and make it so that I might be vulnerable in one way, but at least I would be able to support myself financially. If you have a network of people, it has a financial impact on you when they are supporting you in such a positive way. Anyway, all of that, career switching, upskilling, and I want to say to myself then, be kind to yourself. You've done something very challenging and very hard, and you're not giving yourself the credit that is due to you. You worked really hard. You didn't give up. You constantly showed up for yourself, and I continue to show up for myself even when it's hard. I remember discussing with a family friend, they were asking me, how's work? And I said, actually, it's quite stressful. And funnily enough, it's stressful, but I'm still learning on the job. So it's the stress that I put on myself. It's not the stress that anybody puts onto me. They simply said, well, if you need help, if you don't understand something, just ask. Yes, you can just ask, and I do. But because the person doesn't understand the line of work that I'm doing, it's not as easy as just ask. It's about practicing. It's about continual practice. It's about putting the time in, showing up for yourself at work and outside of work so that you can be a valuable person to the team, right? It's hard anyway, but when you are a mother, that's another variable, and it has its own impact. You have life that you're balancing at home, right? Children, husband, house, and other variables within that. Then you have work, and trying to meet in the middle is hard. As parents, mothers, people with families that work full time, we talk about work-life balance a lot. And in my current state, I would say there isn't balance. It's not always perfect. For me, I strongly depend on breaks off work, so annual leave, because that allows me to regroup. And when I do come back to work, I can be a better version of myself. But at least in that time when you are having a break, you have time to just, a lot of the time when I am having a break and also through the weekend, I'm still spending that time learning. I'm still spending that time reading. I'm spending that time practicing, because at the phase that I am in my career, it's just very necessary. And maybe that is just the nature of the business, the nature of the role. And there's so many hurdles that I'm overcoming. I find that I compare myself to people who are young and they've just come out of uni and they've gotten their first corporate job, and they speak about their experience, whereas my experience is somewhat different. I've never had a corporate job before. This is my first ever corporate role as an adult. I've had jobs, obviously, but corporate is very different, and it is a culture shock. It is a huge culture shock. Yes, I've worked in the city, but not in the same way, not in the same capacity. And, getting information is important, because that is the nature of being in corporate spaces, and understanding the culture and the lingua and getting used to that. You have to be quick, right? I think that's all I want to share for now. I think I wanted to come on because I recently saw that video and I was really hurt at how unsure I seemed with what I was doing, knowing full well that I'm doing the damn thing. I've made the moves, I've gotten this and gotten that, and I'm hoping that me sharing would benefit somebody listening, somebody watching. I think if you are at a point where you are transitioning, career switching, upskilling, the emotions that you might go through, because it's not the same for everyone. That's all I want to share for now. Until the next one, if you have any thoughts, feel free to leave them in comment below. Until the next one, bye.